What if the biggest financial mistake you'll ever make has nothing to do with numbers on a screen? What if it's entirely about the emotional turmoil inside your own head? We spend hours learning about compound interest, asset allocation, and market movements, yet the most critical factor, your own behavior, is the most neglected. Your brain is a supercomputer, but when it comes to money, that brilliant machine is hardwired to panic, to chase fleeting gains, and to regret lost opportunities. This deep internal conflict is why so many intelligent people with well-designed financial plans still make costly, self-sabotaging decisions. The market is a battlefield, but the true war is fought within yourself. To achieve financial peace, we must first master the volatile, illogical, and fundamentally human psychology that drives our wealth decisions. We have to learn why we panic, and then, crucially, how to finally make it stop. Most people fundamentally misunderstand what wealth is. They mistake it for what they can see. When you look at someone's fancy car, their huge house, or their designer watch, you're not seeing wealth. You're seeing expenditure. You're seeing money that was once there, but is now gone. The driver of the fancy car is almost certainly less wealthy than they were before they bought it. This visible consumption is a massive trap, a desperate attempt to show others what they think wealth looks like, when in reality, true wealth is what you don't spend. True wealth is the unspent, unseen assets that offer you genuine independence and the freedom to control your time. It's the money in the investment account, the paid-off mortgage, the savings buffer, the things that give you options later. And options are what matter. The reason most people misunderstand wealth is because it's intangible. It's easy to dismiss a big number in an account in favor of the instant, tangible gratification of a purchase. But by obsessing over what others spend, you get trapped on a treadmill of comparison, constantly needing to earn and spend more just to feel adequate. The only way to win this game is to stop playing. You have to detach from the need for external validation and appreciate that the point of having money isn't to buy things, but to buy control. The moment you start achieving financial success, a new insidious set of traps awaits you. The most dangerous trap is the failure to define enough. Success has a way of moving the goalposts. The more you get, the more you feel you need to maintain that lifestyle. This is the social proof trap in action. As your income rises, you begin socializing with people who have even higher incomes, and suddenly, their baseline of normal becomes your new aspiration. This relentless pursuit of more is what truly drives emotional panic in the end. The secret to avoiding this trap is to establish a line, a point of enough, and recognize the immense danger of risking what you have and what you need for what you don't actually need. This risk-taking can manifest when successful people get greedy. They see others making outrageous, quick profits, and their own prudent, slow, and steady growth suddenly feels painfully inadequate. This feeling of being left behind is the primary cause of emotional decisions, pushing successful people to gamble their secure foundation on highly speculative ventures. The hidden trap of success is the human desire to chase a bigger number, even when that bigger number offers little to no increase in happiness or utility, only a profound increase in risk. The fundamental reason we are so emotional about money is that we all have different, deeply personal financial histories. Your experience shapes your perspective, and you assume your experience is universal. Someone who lived through the hyperinflation of the 1970s will treat cash differently than someone who only saw the dot-com bubble burst. Crucially, none of us have enough personal experience to truly understand everything the market is capable of doing. The most powerful economic events happen once in a generation, meaning most of us live and invest using an outdated map of the world. When the market panics, or when an opportunity arises, your brain doesn't consult a diversified portfolio theory textbook. It recalls your deepest, most recent emotional memories. If you saw a massive gain 2 years ago, you'll be prone to chase that rush again, ignoring the current risks. If you lived through a portfolio crash, you'll feel an overpowering urge to sell everything at the first sign of trouble, even if it defies all logic. The emotional turmoil is the feeling of our personal, limited history colliding with the infinite, unpredictable future of the market. Your brain craves certainty, but the market offers none. This gap between expectation and reality is where the anxiety lives, forcing us to try and control the uncontrollable through impulsive buying or selling. Step 1. Know the role of time and patience. The single most powerful force in finance is compounding, but its psychological counterpart is patience. Compounding growth looks linear at first, and for years it feels agonizingly slow and underwhelming. The magic, the exponential growth, only kicks in later, often well after you've mentally given up on it. This is the ultimate test of patience. The best investments often feel boring, or they feel wrong for long stretches of time. You have to internalize the understanding that the biggest gains come from simply giving your investments decades to work. Your edge isn't market timing, it's time in the market. You must actively choose to be bored, consistently depositing money, and letting time do the heavy lifting. The most important choice you will ever make is to not interrupt your compound growth. Step 2. Redefine your relationship with risk. We often think of risk as simply volatility, the chance your investments will go down. But the real emotional risk you need to manage is the one that will force you to abandon your plan. That is the risk of having insufficient cash to weather an unexpected financial shock. You need to build a substantial, sleep-well-at-night cash reserve that is completely separate from your investments. This reserve isn't for generating returns. It's to stop you from being forced to sell your long-term assets at the worst possible time, when the market is crashing. By defining a level of risk that lets you sleep peacefully, you create a firebreak between market volatility and your own panic button. This cash buys you the psychological distance to see crashes as opportunities, rather than existential threats. Step 3. Define the true cost of your money. You have to acknowledge that everything of value has a price, and that includes market returns. Volatility, fear, uncertainty, doubt. These aren't faults in the system. They are the fee you pay for the superior returns that the market offers over cash. When the market plunges 20%, stop calling it a crisis and start calling it the volatility fee. This simple psychological reframing changes a painful, unexpected loss into a normal, expected cost of doing business. You pay the fee, you get the return. If you can't emotionally afford to pay the fee of volatility, you will never get the return. This mindset allows you to treat market drops as a perfectly normal part of the process, rather than a reason to panic and sell. Step 4. Use money to buy control over your time. Ultimately, money is a tool, not the goal. The highest dividend it can pay is the ability to wake up each morning and decide what you will do with your day. This is financial freedom in its truest form. The independence that removes the daily indignity of being controlled by a schedule set by someone else. When you use money to gain this control, to reduce a miserable commute, to spend more time with family, or to pursue a passion, it becomes a virtuous circle. You feel less anxious because your money is serving your life, not dominating it. Your emotional decisions decrease because you are no longer chasing an empty number. You are chasing the invaluable asset of time. This shifts your entire relationship with money from a source of stress to a facilitator of a more meaningful life. What is one action you can take this week to buy back a small piece of your time, proving to yourself that your money is a tool for freedom?